So I thought I'd just talk a little bit about the books I'm using this year. So I'm not using many. I mean, I have a lot of books that I've made that are kind of ongoing, but they're not books that I'm using all the time. They're sort of like albums, or they're for a particular thing, like my little journal I have to write quotes, cute little quotes of things that my kids say and stuff like that. So they're not like always writing it every single day, writing out a page or whatever. Even the ones that I'm using all the time, which I say is all the time, is not all the time. It's kind of just every couple of days, or even every couple of weeks, depending on how busy I am. I do often sit down and just catch up on all of my inserts. So these are the inserts that I'm using in my traveler's notebook. It's still the same as last year, almost. So if you've watched my channel before, you know that I'm doing an insert for each of my kids. So this is something I'm not changing because I really enjoy doing this, and I feel like it's going to be something really precious for them to look back on when they're older, and to kind of keep and have their own little piece of their childhood. And so I'm going to continue with that. These two are my volume 1, so they've taken me actually a long time to fill up. And that's because I'm not writing in these all the time. I'm not writing absolutely everything in here. I'm just putting in sort of the highlights, or the highlights, or little things that happen that I want them to remember, or their milestones, or something that they're kind of learning or going through. So it's not something that I'm writing in daily. I think I started these notebooks back in July, end of July. So that's a long time, considering they don't have that many pages in them. But the thing I'm finding with these notebooks is that I kind of treat them a little bit more like, I guess it feels a little bit like a scrapbook to me, because I'm making the pages look visually appealing. I'm putting photos in pretty much every time I write in them, and sort of making it like a layout, and putting the stories in, but doing it in a way that's fun for me. So that's how I approach these notebooks, and I really enjoy doing that. And I think that it's nice to do it that way in these notebooks because, as I said, they're for my kids, so it's kind of a nice way to present their stories to them. So that's not going to change. I'm going to continue doing it that way. It's not a whole bunch of work for me. It doesn't stress me out. I find it fun. It's working for me. It's getting the stories out. It's getting them down. And yeah, I like to flip through them, and I think my kids are going to like to flip through them one day. So both of these notebooks are almost finished. They've got a couple of pages each in the back that I have to finish up. I've got some stories that I need to put down in here and catch up, and then once they're finished, I will do a flip through on those. And then when I started doing these, I decided to do one for myself. So I'm already up to volume 2 for my personal one because I was writing in it a lot more. And I found that because I was doing these notebooks in such a kind of pretty and laid out way, if that makes sense. It's a nice visual way to document. So because I was doing that for my kids, I kind of found that carrying over into my personal notebook. And this is my volume 2, so I have barely done anything. Got some photos in the front there that I need to put into it. But because I found myself doing this kind of laid out pretty way of journaling in here, I felt like I was missing something a little bit, because my style of journaling is a lot more random than that. It's a lot more collagey, and this is where this notebook is coming into play. So this is a good opportunity for me to introduce this new insert to you guys. So this is something new that I'm playing. So this is an insert for your traveler's notebook. It's regular, same size as the other inserts you can get in the standard size. And the difference is that it has alternating pages between plain paper and pocket pages. So full-size pocket pages, kind of like in your Project Life albums, which is awesome. It's such a cool concept. I personally think it's a genius idea, especially for people that like to do kind of like a scrapbooky approach in their traveler's notebook. I'm not using it like a scrapbook though. I'm using mine to kind of unleash all of my leftover jumbled creativity journaling the way that I like to do it through visual journaling. So lots of just collage, doesn't particularly make much sense, but it's somewhere that I can journal without, you know, maybe not necessarily journaling as in writing. So the pocket page notebook is created by Michelle. Her Instagram is the stamp spot, which I'll link below in the description box so you can go and check it out. And this is how the inserts come. Just come with a nice heavy card cover. It's craft on the outside and on the inside it's white, and then the pages alternate, as I said, from pocket pages and plain. So there is her sticker. You can see pocket page notebook. I will link it below. So, if you do want to check it out, these are such a genius idea in my opinion, and I'm having so much fun playing with it. So you'll probably see me do some process videos in these notebooks. I have a couple of different ideas of ways you could use them. I think they're awesome, and I know that there's a lot of people that really like the idea of a little traveler's notebook, but they don't necessarily like journaling traditionally. They like to do a little bit of scrapbooking. So check those out if you're interested. They're such a great idea. So in this notebook, as I said, I'm using it to journal my way, which is collage. It's visual. I've just collaged scraps from my scrap drawer that I love all over this. I love the way that it looks to be able to jam pack all those different patterns into one. It's great if you can't decide between your favorite patterns as well. You can just put them all together and it just has such a cool effect. So I love doing that. And then I'll show you a little bit of what I'm doing on the inside and the way that I'm kind of approaching it. Collaging things from my day-to-day life, stickers, a little bit of writing, a little bit of color if I feel like watercolor, photographs, just little bits and pieces. And I kind of find myself doing a little bit of a page and then coming back to it. So for example, even in the front here, I'm definitely going to come back to this at some stage and add things to it. So you can see here that this is the pocket side of the notebook, and I've got a little bit of a book page in there, and then I've just stuck in an extra little mini page with washi tape on a paint chip, and then just done some collage with a bunch of random stuff that I have. Again, lots of random things, so stickers, paint. This was a shopping list and some journaling, and there's some tags from things I purchased, photograph and scrapbook paper. This is a fold out page that I did using my fuse tool. So it was a longer sheet of paper that slipped in here, and then I folded it down. And this isn't going to come out because I cut slits in the scrapbook paper that there was a little gap for the plastic on the pocket page to reach each other, and then I fused it together and just covered it up with tape. So it's just like a little fold out there. More book pages, there's like some wallpaper, some washi tape, more writing. I think this is just some ideas that I had. And then this is a page I shared on my Instagram. This was a layout that I did, just literally just collaging my heart out because a lot of kind of imagery and stuff in my head, so just literally just stuck it all down onto the pages. And on the pocket page on this side, I did a shorter sheet, and then I fused it together, and then I cut it off, and I cut off the excess at the top just so that I could have that layered look, because that's something that I really like to have in my journals. So this is all I've really done so far in here. As I said, it's something that I come back to whenever I feel like it. I put extra bits and pieces down that I have laying around, like the paint chips and the tickets and the clothing tags and stuff like that. So really enjoying doing this. I'm just playing around with it at the moment, and I really feel like this notebook has potential for so many other different concept ideas as well. So super excited about that. So these are my journaling inserts for the year. It's all I'm really focusing on at the moment, and actually it is a lot. It's a lot because it's a separate notebook for each child and for myself, and then another notebook for myself. So it is a lot. The way I see it, I've got 2 here for myself. This feeds my creativity, and this keeps my emotional self happy because I can express and I can remember and I can document. And then these 2 are for my kids. These 2 are for my kids, so they're kind of extra, but I'm so happy to do them because I know that in the long run these are going to be really treasured. So those are my journals. The other journals that I have going at the moment are used even less than my inserts. Basically, my idea for this book was just to have somewhere to brain dump and write anything and everything that I want. And so when I created it, I made it so that I could use it for that, but at the same time it was still going to be visually appealing to me, because I'm a very visual person, and so for me to write in a journal and to feel inspired, it's definitely the visual elements that keep me interested. So when I made this book, I kind of just collaged, and I used all pattern pages and leftover vintage pages that I'd been hoarding, all of my favorite patterns and things that I love, and created the pages like that, so that no matter what page I open this out on, there's already visual elements in here that speak to my soul and that make me happy. So I'm not going to kind of show everything in here, because this is a very kind of personal book. It's literally where I just let everything out. Yeah. And so I don't even know what I write in here, because I just write in here and then I just close it up and then I just don't look at it again. So you can kind of get the idea of what it looks like and how I approach it. So I just literally write on top of everything and anything, wherever I can squeeze some words in, I just do that. And I don't write from front to back. I just open page and I just write and I just let it out. So I love this book for that, and I feel like it's going to last me a long time as well. So this is the other book that I'm using this year that I absolutely love. So these are the main things I'm using this year. I'm not really focusing on anything else, even though I may have other books kind of going in the background. They're not as ongoing as these. They're just kind of like kind of every now and again. So these are more persistent, and they all have their own purpose that works for me. This is another example of a book I have ongoing behind the scenes, and another example of my covers that I do with scrap paper. So this is something I started doing a couple of months ago, and it was kind of just like another collage-y scrapbook. This one's actually for house stuff though. So I thought I'd share this in this chatty video just because I haven't shown it on anything before. And again, this isn't something I'm using all the time. This is fun to do every now and again, and it's just another visual book for me, where I've just cut pictures out of magazines and just collage them over the page. And it's all kind of just relative to houses that I like, interior designs that I like, and I've just done it for fun, really, nothing else, just fun. So just collaged pictures down and maybe just written in little bullet points what I like about the picture, what I like about the house. So just really pulled pictures out of magazines and stuff and stuck them down. So that's really fun to do as well. And then I've just got a bunch of pictures here and from magazines and stuff that I haven't put in yet. But yeah, it's just, this was actually a scrapbook that you can get from like the grocery shop, and it's like a little kids scrapbook, and I've just covered it, the inside cover and the outside cover, and just made it into something that I like. So you definitely don't ever have to have like a fancy book. You can take something as simple as an exercise book or a scrapbook from a grocery shop and just transform it into what you like. Just about projecting yourself into your notebook. So my goals for this year for journaling is just really to keep up with these books, my inserts and my writing journal. That's it. And you know, I say keep up, but if I get behind and if I don't journal in my books for a couple of weeks or whatever, it doesn't really stress me out. It is what it is. Your journal is for you. It waits for you. You can come back to it. So anyway, I hope this video was interesting somewhat. Sorry I don't have something kind of more like arty, productive to share with you guys. It's just a chatty video. Soon I'm going to have a flip through up of my kids inserts very, very soon. And I've got some other videos lined up that I just have to get the time to film in the next couple of weeks. So anyway, I hope you guys are all doing really, really well, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys again soon. Bye!